Today's show is sponsored by the Electric Vehicle Association. Join up to support the electrification of transport and get the help you need to finance your own EV or clean energy future. And by Energy Sage. Visit the link in the description to find local, verified solar experts, community projects and heat pump specialists in your area. And by you. Support the channel today and help us remain 100% independent. Welcome back to another episode of TEN, Transport Evolved News. Thanks for joining me. The shifting US policies towards electric vehicles have been making waves for a while now, and this week brought a slew of less than stellar developments. We begin with reporting from the Wall Street Journal, which suggests that BlueOval SK, the joint venture between Ford and SK On, may soon also begin manufacturing EV battery packs for Nissan. BlueOval SK was founded in 2022 to build batteries for Ford and Lincoln, with two nearly identical facilities, each capable of producing 43 gigawatt-hours of battery cells annually. But with demand for EVs falling short of Ford's expectations and only one facility currently operational, the economics of the project are looking shaky. According to the report, this new, still unconfirmed deal could be a win-win. BlueOval SK would supply Nissan with US-made batteries, helping it avoid import tariffs while bringing in additional revenue to offset Ford's production slowdowns. As of recording, none of the companies involved have commented publicly on the report. Honda, meanwhile, which still relies heavily on General Motors' Ultium platform for its North American EV offerings, has announced plans to significantly scale back its EV investment. Citing a slowdown in EV sales, which, to be clear, doesn't reflect what we're seeing in most global marketplaces, Honda says it will cut 3 trillion yen from its original 10 trillion yen EV budget. At the same time, it's shifting focus towards next-generation hybrid models, with new offerings expected from 2027 onward. It's a noticeable move, especially as many markets continue to see strong EV growth and still have bans on new internal combustion engine sales set for 2030 and beyond. And while Honda isn't alone in adjusting its EV roadmap, it, like several legacy automakers, has been losing market share in regions like China due to its limited EV portfolio. Whether this signals a longer-term strategy shift or simply a response to the current US policies environment remains to be seen. We'll all need to be watching closely. Unlike Honda, BMW isn't about to slash its EV budget, but the automaker's CEO Oliver Zipse has just gone on the record expressing frustration with how EV mandates are affecting the EV market. While BMW now has a strong EV portfolio across its brands and it's making serious growth compared to German rivals Mercedes-Benz, Audi and Porsche, Zipse said during BMW's annual general meeting that he doesn't agree with EV mandates, calling them a quote-unquote dead-end street. Instead, he believes EV adoption should come from a comprehensive approach where political goals reflect market realities. He's among several industry executives calling for a review of EU targets. While some outlets have portrayed Zipse's comments as anti-EV, I think there's a subtle difference here. BMW has been working on EVs for a long time and its portfolio is strong, which makes me cautious to suggest BMW doesn't want to make EVs. Instead, it appears Zipse's worry is that if BMW rushes vehicles to market just to meet targets, they may not be as good as BMW wants or needs them to be, damage the brand and then discourage people from switching. That said, BMW, like the rest of the auto industry, has had more than a decade to get ready for the EV age, so maybe this excuse isn't the best defence. An automaker that doesn't seem to need an excuse to push back its EV plans is the North American arm of Stellantis, whose Ram and Dodge brands both confirmed EV delays and deletes this week. First, Ram confirmed it's pushing back the Ram 1500 REV electric pickup until summer of 2027, with a model now due in the US and Canada as a 2028 model year vehicle. Meanwhile, its plug-in hybrid sibling, which Ram has been prioritising, will now appear in the first first quarter of next year. Stellantis says the delay is due to the need to extend the vehicle's quality validation period, but I'll let you interpret that as you see fit. Meanwhile, Ram's sibling brand Dodge has dropped the entry-level all-electric Charger Daytona RT for next year, leaving just the higher-end and more expensive Scat Pack model on sale. While it's been sold as the world's first electric muscle car, reviews haven't been very kind. Stellantis has been unfashionably late to the EV party, and while other automakers are making decent volumes, it's trying to get its EVs to market. Lexus has revealed more details this week about its 8th generation Lexus ES, set to go on sale this time next year with EV options for the first time alongside its hybrid variants. The battery electric ES350e offers a 165 kilowatt front-wheel drive system, while the ES500e comes with a more powerful 252 kilowatt all-wheel drive setup. Lexus hasn't shared official range estimates yet, only targets of around 300 miles, 482 kilometres for the ES350e, and 250 miles, 402 kilometres for the ES500e. An official European press release from Lexus suggests the ES350e uses a 77 kilowatt-hour battery, while the ES500e has a 75 kilowatt-hour battery pack. I haven't confirmed this, so watch this space. Pricing, range and availability will be announced closer to launch. BYD has officially premiered the Dolphin Surf, a vehicle it hopes will put legacy automakers on notice. The Dolphin Surf is the European market sibling to BYD's best-selling budget-friendly EV, the Seagull, but it starts at just under €23,000, more than double the Seagull's sub-$10,000 equivalent price. For that, you get a 65 kilowatt front motor drive model with a 30 kilowatt-hour battery pack and 11.1 second sprint time. It's small and a bit underpowered compared to pricier rivals, but there's also a longer range, more powerful option available. Its specs, though, aren't that far off what we saw from much more expensive EVs 10 years ago, and it could still shake up the European EV market. Despite the affordable price, you get NFC keyless operation, vegan leather seats, voice control, 360-degree cameras, and a vehicle to load as standard. Legacy automakers should be very scared indeed. It's only been about a year since Chinese tech giant Xiaomi started making and selling electric vehicles. This week, it unveiled its second EV, the YU7. Like its sibling, the SU7, which competes with the Tesla Model 3, the YU7 is aimed at rivals of the Tesla Model Y size. It's a mid-size crossover SUV with 3 model options: Standard, Pro, and Max. The Standard model offers a single rear-wheel drivetrain with a 96.3 kilowatt-hour lithium iron phosphate battery, and the top Pro and Max versions come with dual motors and all-wheel drive, powered by a lithium ternary battery pack of 101.7 kilowatt-hours. Range claims start at 519 miles on the Chinese test cycle, that's 835 kilometres, and go up to 472 miles or 760 kilometres for the higher spec variants. The Max version accelerates from 0 to 100 kilometres per hour in just 3.23 seconds. All versions include 800-volt charging and the latest NVIDIA Thor autonomous driving chipset. While Nissan's future remains uncertain, the brand put its best foot forward this week by officially revealing the production version of its 6th generation Micra, known in some markets as the Nissan March. Returning after a brief hiatus, the all-new Micra is fully electric for the first time in its history and built on the same platform as the Renault 5. When it goes on sale later this year in Europe, customers can choose between a 40 kilowatt-hour battery pack paired with a 90 kilowatt motor or a more expensive 52 kilowatt-hour battery paired with a 110 kilowatt motor. Fast charging comes as standard, with the smaller pack supporting up to 80 kilowatts and the larger up to 100 kilowatts. Both variants include battery heating and cooling, a standard heat pump, and vehicle-to-load capabilities. Nissan hasn't released official pricing yet, but the Micra EV is expected to be priced similarly to the Renault 5. In the US this week, the House passed the President's One Big Beautiful Bill just after midnight on Thursday, a bill that focuses lifting taxes on the super rich while penalising the most vulnerable and which is expected to meet significant resistance from the Senate. If passed, it will kill all EV tax incentives and renewable energy tax incentives as of the end of this year, as well as impose a $250 tax on every EV in the US per year. Amid the chaos on Capitol Hill, the White House and Republicans continue to push anti-EV, anti-green policies, and this week that continued with the administration confirming plans to lower corporate average fuel economy standards, claiming the previous rules were an illegal, quote, backdoor EV mandate. And on Thursday, lawmakers ignored the parliamentarians' advice and voted to revoke California's EPA waiver, the one allowing it to set tougher emission rules and EV sales targets and ICE sale bans. Rolling back these policies will hurt air quality, slow EV adoption and have global consequences. That's highlighted by a new International Energy Agency report that warns this week that if current trends continue, US EV market share could fall to just 16.7% by 2030, far behind Europe and China, both of which are nearing 50% by that point. This is despite new JD Power data showing that there's no slowdown in consumer interest in EVs. While many consumers are eager to go electric, they still cite concerns over vehicle cost and charging infrastructure as reasons not yet to make the switch, and the current US administration's policy decisions of late will only make that worse. The slashing of green energy programs and anti-renewable policies by the US federal government triggered fresh warnings this week, this time from the Solar Energy Industries Association. In a public post, the SEIA warned that ending support for clean energy and grid storage could trigger major energy shortfalls. Nearly 300 solar and battery storage projects are now at risk, eliminating 145,000 gigawatt hours of clean energy. That's enough to power Pennsylvania for a full year. More than 300,000 workers could lose their jobs, and the US may miss out on 206.5 gigawatts of new grid capacity by 2030, 3/4 of which was expected to come from solar. With layoffs underway and the US Department of Government Efficiency, aka DOGE, indiscriminately slashing staff at sites it barely understands, the SEIA warns grid instability and soaring electricity costs are all but guaranteed. And if today's news depresses you, and it probably will, but you also happen to be in the US and you want to boost your energy resiliency, there's still time to act before those federal tax credits expire at the end of the year. And luckily, I know just the folks to help you do that. Our show sponsor, Energy Sage. Energy Sage connects you with local verified solar installers across the US and now heat pump specialists in select markets who really know their stuff and can guide you through installing solar panels or getting a heat pump installed. Not a homeowner? No worries. Energy Sage can still help you green your electricity by letting you join a community solar program. We used Energy Sage ourselves when looking for installers to put solar panels on our roof, and the verified pros were knowledgeable and even introduced us to a great credit union to finance the project with low monthly payments. So follow the links below to sign up for either of Energy Sage's free, no-obligation services and get the ball rolling today. If you choose an Energy Sage verified installer for your project, we'll also receive a small referral fee, so you'll be helping us too. Help the grid get greener, save money, and support the channel? It's a win-win-win. And now, it's time for our news shorts. A dramatic dip in Tesla's brand popularity has helped the Ford F-150 Lightning reclaim its title as the best-selling electric pickup in North America for both March and the first quarter of this year. While both brands have offered steep discounts of late, Tesla's high depreciation and controversial CEO are affecting brand desirability. Following last week's reveal of the Toyota BZ Woodland in North America, where the BZ4X crossover was renamed simply BZ, Toyota Europe has now launched the same vehicle. In Europe, the crossover keeps the BZ4X name, while the new wagon variant is dubbed the BZ4X Tourer. Chinese automotive giant BYD has chosen Hungary as its European base of operations. It plans to establish a new head office and research and development centre in Budapest, with the long-term goal of building EVs in Europe to avoid the import tariffs the EU is currently imposing on Chinese-made vehicles. UK transit operator Stagecoach has officially unveiled its first fully electric bus fleet and depot. Located in Stockton-on-Tees in County Durham, the fleet includes both single and double-decker buses made by Chinese firm Yutong. It aims to achieve zero carbon status across its entire UK fleet by 2050. Sticking with buses, the Port of Oakland in California has commissioned its first all-electric airport parking shuttles. 5 buses sourced from Ride are now in service, transporting passengers between parking lots and terminal buildings. Each bus has its own dedicated 180-kilowatt DC fast charger on site. Royal Mail, the United Kingdom's postal service, has taken delivery of its 7,000th all-electric delivery vehicle. Since acquiring its first electric trucks in 2017, the fleet has steadily grown, with plans to add another 1,800 electric vans in the coming year. Mitsubishi Motors announced this week it will not invest in Renault's Ampere EV division. Instead, it plans to explore collaborations, including possibly rebadging Renault-designed electric vehicles under the Mitsubishi brand. This cements the idea that the Renault-Nissan-Mitsubishi alliance is pretty much dead. As the impacts of the US trade war and economic uncertainty ripple through the world, the Canadian province of British Columbia has paused its electric vehicle incentive program. The provincial government says it needs time to review the rebate's future to better serve citizens while encouraging EV adoption. Researchers at the Federal Institute for Materials Research and Testing, or BAM, in Berlin, Germany, have developed a new solid-state battery using a liquid alkali metal anode and solid electrolyte based on sodium superion conductors. The liquid alkali metal anode is an order of magnitude more efficient than traditional graphite anodes. Montreal real estate tycoon Vincent Chira may be poised to save Canadian EV maker Lion Electric from bankruptcy. Bloomberg reported this week that Chira leads a group of investors planning to take over the company and inject fresh capital, though the offer still awaits bankruptcy court approval. BYD has partnered with Mega Motor Company and Hub Power Company to launch Pakistan's largest EV charging network. Around 130 new DC fast charging stations will be installed nationwide over the next 3 years, with the first 50 expected to be online by the end of the year. Indian company Tata has accelerated India's EV infrastructure by inaugurating the first of 10 new Tata EV mega charging stations. The initial step is a plan to expand the country's EV charging network to over 400,000 stations by 2027. Tata aims to establish charging corridors along major highways. BYD has unveiled a new all-electric model for the Chinese market. Called the E7, it's a mid-size sedan with a 100-kilowatt motor and choice of 48 kilowatt-hour or 57.6 kilowatt-hour LFP battery packs. It's aimed at taxi and ride-hailing drivers and has a starting price of just under 104,000 yuan. Chinese battery cell company Gotian High-Tech has confirmed it's begun pilot production of solid-state battery cells. Its Gemstel cells produce dramatically improved energy density over NMC cells, but the firm has yet to confirm a final figure, only confirming that the cells exceed their original expectations. CATL has launched a standardised battery pack designed for allowing battery swapping for electric big rigs, following a similar move it made for passenger cars last year. The number 75 swap block, a brand designation, not a capacity, is designed to ease long-distance travel and make battery swaps for electric long-haul trucking a reality. UL Solutions, known as Underwriters Laboratory, has officially opened its first European battery test lab. Located in Aachen, Germany, a hub for EV innovation, the facility will test batteries for electric vehicles and energy storage systems. A UL listing is widely regarded as a mark of safety and reliability. Genesis has confirmed a refresh of its electrified G80 for Europe. The updated model features subtle styling tweaks, a larger 94.5 kilowatt-hour battery pack, dual 136 kilowatt motors for all-wheel drive, rear-wheel steering, and improved range over its predecessor. If you are in the market for a hydrogen fuel cell big rig, or the equipment needed to fuel, maintain, or build one, you might be in luck. The assets and remaining Nikola hydrogen fuel cell trucks are heading to auction in Arizona, including 103 unsold Nikola FCEV trucks. New sales data shows that as quickly as Tesla is losing customers, Cadillac is gaining them. While we've previously noted how Tesla's changing fortunes have boosted Rivian and Lucid sales, Cadillac is now also benefiting with 1/4 of new Lyriq buyers and 10% of all Cadillac EV customers switching to the brand and trading in their Tesla. BP Pulse has announced a new partnership with Waffle House to install DC fast chargers at Waffle House locations across the southeast and Sunbelt regions of the US. The first chargers are expected to go live early next year, so now you can get an EV charge with your oversized order of carbs. First Bus in the UK has officially commissioned the first of its new Repower electric buses. While the company has long operated electric buses, these are the first formerly diesel buses to undergo a full all-electric conversion from the hands of Wrightbus, which helps to reduce carbon footprint by reusing existing vehicles. CATL has officially opened its newest battery production facility in northern China. Covering a massive 52 hectares, it will be the firm's largest factory to date, with an annual capacity of 60 gigawatt hours of battery cells, representing 100 billion yuan in production value. Fiat Professional has unveiled a new all-electric three-wheeler that hits all of the right notes for fans of the iconic Ampere. Designed for African and Middle Eastern markets, the TRIS is built for last-mile deliveries and offers a range of 90 kilometres, about 56 miles. I really, really want one. Renault has unveiled a new EV concept, the Souvan 4x4 concept. Revealed at the Roland Garros French Open, this all-electric off-roader is a lifted version of the standard Renault 4 and features a rear-mounted mounter alongside the stock front-wheel drivetrain for enhanced traction. As Volvo Trucks begins production of electric trucks in Brisbane, Australia, it's confirmed its first order of 30 heavy-duty electric trucks from local logistics company Linfox. This marks the largest battery electric truck order for Volvo in Australia to date. Hyundai has announced plans for a new EV factory in Saudi Arabia, backed by the Saudi Public Investment Fund. At the same time, the company is reportedly considering resuming production and sales in Russia, despite the ongoing illegal invasion of Ukraine. Both moves raise ethical concerns regarding human rights and international law. BMW Group and Solid Power have reached a milestone in their solid-state battery partnership, with Solid Power's long-range ASSB cells now undergoing real-world testing in and around Munich inside a BMW i7. BMW will evaluate cell stability, range, charging performance and lifespan during the trials. Volvo has confirmed a new deal with Google to integrate the Gemini AI assistant into every Volvo car. Existing EX30, EX40, EX90 and other Volvo models running Android Automotive OS will get the features via an over-the-air update. If you are wary of big AI, this might influence your next car choice. After going to great lengths to brand its electric vehicles with the ID prefix, Volkswagen has decided to drop it and use quote-unquote proper names instead. The change will start with upcoming compact models currently known as the ID2 and ID Everyone. Volkswagen remains tight-lipped about the new names. Meanwhile, Volkswagen has confirmed its iconic Volkswagen GTi performance badge will make the jump to EVs. Speaking to Autocar this week, the company revealed that the all-electric ID2, which as I just mentioned will be renamed, will feature a front-wheel drive GTi equivalent. Could this mean a Golf GTi EV? It certainly looks that way. Wisk Aero has announced a 5-year partnership with NASA to evaluate advanced air mobility standards, aiming to integrate fully electric, fully autonomous aircraft into the National Airspace System under IFR classifications. This will include establishing proper ATC communication protocols. Hi-Phi, the high-end luxury electric car brand that recently went quiet, is back thanks to major investment from a financier in Lebanon. The brand will resume production more than a year after initially pausing, keeping the same specs and market availability plans as before. A man has died at Hyundai's new EV production facility in Georgia after a load fell from a forklift. Although the plant is not yet operational, it's expected to start in early 2026, this fatality adds to a troubling history of safety violations and accidents at Hyundai facilities. Halifax, Nova Scotia, where my mum is from, has just taken delivery of 60 new electric buses set to replace diesel units around the city. Funded partly by the city and partly by federal and provincial governments, these buses will be charged at a central depot using solar-powered charging stations. A fleet of 100 fully autonomous battery-electric mining trucks has entered service at a mine in Inner Mongolia, China. Developed through a collaboration between XCMG, Huawei and the mine, they are expected to achieve 20% higher efficiency than traditional diesel-powered, human-driven trucks. Fortum Battery Recycling has launched a new battery box service in Germany and Finland to make recycling EV battery packs easier and safer. The specially designed packs allow removed EV battery packs to be shipped back to Fortum for recycling, all while meeting all local and European safety regulations. Blink Charging will lay off around 20% of its global workforce by the end of the third quarter. The cuts follow the removal of federal support for EV charging in the US and growing concerns over the country's EV market future. The company claims restructuring is necessary to navigate these challenges and remain competitive. While the US administration has done a lot of damage to green energy and transport in short order, we did get some good news this week. Empire Wind's New York offshore wind farm has now been greenlit to resume construction after initially being forced to hold by government order. At least it has for the time being. Volvo Trucks has confirmed its FH Aero electric will begin sales in the second quarter of next year. The new model promises up to 600 kilometres, about 373 miles of range per charge, and will come with a megawatt charging standard, enabling fast charging in as little as 40 minutes. New analysis from Dataforce shows Volkswagen made the biggest progress in fleet carbon dioxide emissions last year, cutting output by 13 grams per kilometre. But while Volkswagen is still only halfway to meeting its targets, Renault already exceeded its own, with BMW and Kia also hitting theirs. YASA has opened a new production line in Yarnton near Oxford, calling it the UK's first axial-flux motor super factory. The facility upgrade represents a £12 million sterling investment, features state-of-the-art CNC coil winding, and will produce 25,000 units per year. Chinese battery firm CATL has floated on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, selling approximately 135,560,000 shares at 263 Hong Kong dollars each, which nets the company around 35,700 million Hong Kong dollars. The funds will be used to accelerate battery research and expand CATL's production facilities. And those are your news shorts. There will be more next week. Our final two stories are next, but first, a quick word about our most important sponsors, you! Transport Evolved is celebrating its 15th year, and we've worked very hard to stay fiercely independent, thanks entirely to the generous support of viewers like you. We've always kept our content free to access, and we'd love to keep it that way, but to do so, we need your support now more than ever. Recent changes at YouTube, including shifting algorithms that penalise creators outside of the million subscriber club, have made things increasingly difficult for small indie channels like this one. YouTube is also, again, unsubscribing people without their consent and failing to tackle spam bots that flood videos like ours with hundreds of fake cryptocurrency comments in just a few minutes. This is driving audience away and has slashed our monthly ad income to roughly 1/8 of what it was just a few years ago. Worse still, YouTube's deeply troubling policy change that no longer classifies anti-LGBTQ harassment as hate speech has left us and other creators we work with vulnerable to an escalating amount of abuse. This impacts our safety, our income, and our ability to keep creating. That's why Patreon has become our primary source of funding. Without increased support, our ability to continue may be at risk. So if you can, please consider supporting us there. But whether you support us financially, share our content, or simply watch to the end of the video, it all helps, and we are deeply grateful. Now, on to our final two stories. Chevrolet has officially updated its Silverado EV lineup for the 2026 model year, with new models set to hit dealer lots this summer. Alongside tweaks to the entry-level Wheatie models, yes, I watch Robert at Aging Wheels, increased range and updating interior specs, Chevrolet revealed a bigger change, scrapping the launch spec RST variant and replacing it with an all-new Trail Boss trim at the top of the lineup. The Trail Boss features a 2-inch suspension lift, rugged styling, and hydraulic rebound control system for the suspension. It also adds a new terrain mode alongside the standard off-road and sidewinder modes, debuting with 18-inch wheels wrapped in 35-inch rubber. While I'd like to think most will take this setup off-road, the Trail Boss will probably end up as a trophy truck, much like the majority of ICE Trail Boss models out there. And finally, while most EV owners watching this are probably used to pulling up at a charging station and plugging in, for some potential drivers, physically connecting the car to the charger might be the biggest barrier to going electric. Beyond awkward charger placement and poorly designed parking spaces, DC fast charging cables can be especially heavy and unwieldy, particularly for those with limited mobility or reduced upper body strength. Some charging networks have made real progress in addressing these issues through inclusive design and accessible charging bays, but at the end of the day, a bulky cable is still a bulky cable. That's why I'm very pleased to see two new automated charging systems unveiled this week, one from Hyundai and another from Westfalia Technologies, a subsidiary of Webasto. Hyundai's solution is aimed at autonomous fleet charging, enabling fully hands-free operation, while Westfalia's system focuses on streamlining EV charging in large parking structures. But in both cases, what excites me the most is the potential to make EV charging far more accessible for everyone, especially for drivers of adapted vehicles who might otherwise have to rely on someone else to help plug in or disconnect their car. Reducing that, in turn, helps make EVs far more accessible for everyone. And on that note, we're done for today. As always, a massive thank you to the Electric Vehicle Association for sponsoring today's show. The EVA has been advocating for EVs since 1967, and they believe, just like we do, that our future depends on us making the switch to clean, green electric cars today. They can connect you with EV educators, help you find local meetups, and even help you make your own transition to electric. And if you become a member, you'll gain access to a clean energy and EV loan program created in partnership with the Colorado Clean Energy Credit Union. Learn more at myeva.org. Thanks also go to Energy Sage. Follow the link below to connect with trusted verified solar experts who can help you put panels on your roof, help you join a community solar program, or even install a heat pump. Taking control of your energy future has never been easier. And if you've made your own transportation or energy cleaner this week, whether that's switching to an EV, installing solar, or simply choosing to walk or take public transit, great job. If you'd like to support this channel, you can do that from just $1.50 a month over on Patreon. And if you are in the greater Portland, Oregon area and you need a video production team, we are available for hire, EV or not. So please reach out. If you haven't seen our Volkswagen ID Buzz video, go watch that to see what we are capable of. We've also got some fantastic swag in our store, and you can send one-time donations through Ko-fi, Bitcoin, or even just send us old-fashioned checks. Plus, we now have an Amazon affiliate link that you can use to support the show. You can find more content from us on this channel, our main channel, and over on Transport Evolved Take 2. We publish here on the main channel every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday, and you can find us on Sunday over on Transport Evolved Take 2. To finish, remember this: you are valid, you are loved, and you belong, even when politicians, corporations, or hateful voices try to say otherwise. This week has been truly horrendous, especially for those of us in the LGBTQIA+ communities, with legal rulings and othering now the norm. And frankly, I have no safe for work words for the federal government's attempt to remove trans healthcare from private and public insurance plans this week. But we have to keep going, and please know that even the strongest people sometimes need a break, so it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to be angry and scared and overwhelmed. It's okay to just have a cry. But your existence is resistance. Simply by being here, you make it harder for hate to thrive, something I have to remind myself on an almost daily basis these days. So be kind, be bold, speak up, protest peacefully, make good trouble, attend your local town halls, get involved, and make a difference. So until next time, stay safe. Whoever you are, whoever you love, be an ally, be kind, be the change you want to see in the world, and please, for the sake of everyone's future, don't let hate or ignorance win. As always, keep evolving.